The city was asleep, but the 47th floor of Apex Tower was still blazing with light. Elena Voss stood alone in her corner office, staring down at the rain-slicked street 47 stories below. It was 1:17 a.m. Everyone else had gone home hours ago. Her executives, her assistants, even the security team had rotated shifts. Everyone except one man. She watched him now through the floor-to-ceiling glass, a lone figure in a Navy janitor's jumpsuit pushing a cleaning cart across the empty plaza. Marcus Reyes. Single dad. Night shift janitor. The man whose personnel file she had no business pulling at midnight. Elena didn't know why she had opened it. Maybe it was the exhaustion. Maybe it was the third glass of scotch burning in her chest. Maybe it was the way he always nodded at her, actually looked her in the eye, when she stayed late. Not with fear like the others. Not with ambition. Just kindness. She had never spoken more than 10 words to him in 3 years. Tonight, something made her grab her coat. She told herself it was curiosity. Nothing more. The private elevator dropped her silently to the underground garage. By the time she reached the street in her black town car, driven by Thomas, who knew better than to ask questions, Marcus was already 3 blocks ahead, walking. "Follow him," she said quietly. "But keep your distance." Thomas raised an eyebrow in the rearview mirror but obeyed. Marcus walked fast, head down against the November rain, a worn backpack slung over one shoulder. He never looked back. 10 minutes later, he turned into a rundown neighborhood Elena's GPS barely recognized. The buildings here leaned like tired old men. Streetlights flickered. A stray dog barked once and thought better of it. Marcus stopped in front of a 4-story walk-up that had once been cream-colored and was now the gray of despair. He glanced at his watch, then disappeared inside. Elena waited. 5 minutes. 10. Then a third-floor window lit up. She could see shadows moving behind thin curtains. She shouldn't have gotten out of the car. But her feet moved anyway. She stood under the dripping awning across the street, collar turned up, watching. Marcus appeared in the window holding a tiny girl, no more than 6 or 7, wrapped in a blanket. The child's legs dangled limply. He rocked her gently, kissing the top of her head over and over. Even from this distance, Elena could see the little girl's face was pale, her eyes too large, her bald head covered by a knit cap with a unicorn horn. Cancer. The word hit Elena like a slap. Marcus carried the girl to what looked like a couch and laid her down. Then he knelt, resting his forehead on her stomach as if praying. His shoulders shook. Elena felt the first tear roll down her cheek before she even realized she was crying. She didn't move for a long time. When she finally returned to the car, Thomas handed her a tissue without a word. "Drive," she whispered. The next night, she came back. And the night after that. She learned his routine like a stalker learns a mark, except her heart broke a little more each time. Marcus finished his shift at Apex at 11:30 p.m. sharp. He took the 11:45 bus to the Children's Hospital to sit with his daughter Sophia during her nightly chemo drip. At 1 a.m., when visiting hours technically ended, a kind nurse let him stay in the family room until Sophia fell asleep. Then he walked the remaining mile and a half home to their crumbling apartment so he could save the $2.75 bus fare. He hadn't missed a single night in 8 months. Elena learned other things too. She learned that Sophia was 7, not 6. That she loved unicorns and the color teal and drawing rainbows even when she was too weak to hold a crayon. That Marcus had lost his wife to a drunk driver 2 years ago, 3 weeks after Sophia's leukemia diagnosis. That he worked 2 jobs, janitor at Apex by night, rideshare driver by day whenever Sophia was strong enough for him to leave her with a neighbor. That his electricity had been shut off twice in the past month. That he still said thank you to every nurse, every bus driver, every cashier who shortchanged him because he was too proud to count. That he sang Sophia to sleep with a cracked, beautiful voice, old Spanish lullabies his mother had taught him. Elena watched it all from the shadows, night after night, until she couldn't watch anymore. On the 14th night, the rain turned to sleet. Marcus emerged from the hospital later than usual. Sophia had spiked a fever. He looked like a man carrying the world on his back and still trying to smile for the nurses. He started the long walk home. Halfway there, he stopped under a flickering street lamp, leaned against a brick wall, and cried. Not quietly. Great, wrenching sobs that tore out of him like they'd been trapped for years. Elena was out of the car before Thomas could stop her. She crossed the street slowly, heels clicking on wet pavement. Marcus didn't hear her at first. When he finally looked up, his face went white. Ms. Voss? His voice was raw. I'm sorry, she said. The words felt ridiculous. I followed you. He wiped his face with the sleeve of his soaked jacket. I'm not stealing anything. I swear. If someone said. No. God, no. She stepped closer. Marcus, I've been following you for 2 weeks. I've seen everything. He stared at her, confusion turning to something colder. Why? Because I'm a coward, she said simply. Because I sit in my tower and sign papers that decide people's lives, and I never see what those lives actually look like. Until you. He looked away. You shouldn't be here. This neighborhood. I don't care about the neighborhood. Her voice cracked. I care that your daughter is fighting for her life and you're walking home in freezing rain because you can't afford the bus. I care that you mop my floors for $12 an hour while I clear more than that in the time it takes me to sneeze. Marcus flinched. I'm not telling you this to humiliate you, she said quickly. I'm telling you because I can't unsee it. And I can't pretend I don't know anymore. He was quiet for a long time. Then, Sophia's fever broke an hour ago. She asked for pancakes shaped like unicorns. A ghost of a smile. I don't even own a frying pan anymore. Sold it last month for her medication copay. Elena felt something inside her shatter completely. Come with me, she said. He hesitated. Please. He followed her to the car. Thomas held the door without a word. They rode in silence to the only 24-hour diner Elena knew, the one near the hospital where the waitresses wore too much makeup and called everyone Han. She ordered everything on the menu that could possibly be shaped like a unicorn. Marcus just asked for coffee. When the food came, he wrapped most of it carefully in napkins. For Sophia, he said quietly. In the morning. Elena watched him and felt tears threaten again. Marcus, she said, I'm going to ask you something, and you can say no. But I need you to hear me out. He looked up, wary. I want to pay for Sophia's treatment. All of it. The experimental protocol at Memorial Sloan Kettering. The clinical trial in Germany if that doesn't work. All of it. And I want you to quit both jobs. Today. He stared at her like she was speaking another language. I'm not asking for anything in return, she continued. No publicity. No tax write-off. I won't even tell anyone at the company if you don't want me to. This isn't charity. This is penance. For every year I looked past people like you. Marcus's hands trembled around his coffee cup. You don't even know us, he whispered. I know you sing, Cielito Lindo, off-key when you think no one's listening. I know Sophia draws rainbows with her left hand because the 4 is always in her right. I know you haven't bought yourself a new coat in 3 years. I know enough. He started to cry again, silent this time. I can't let you do that, he said finally. It's too much. It's not even a rounding error to me, she said gently. And it's everything to her. He looked out the window at the sleet. There's something else, he said so quietly she almost missed it. Anything. Sophia, she thinks her mom is an angel now. Watching her. She asked me last week if angels get tired of waiting for people to join them. His voice broke. I don't know how to keep going if. He couldn't finish. Elena reached across the table and took